Well, folks, it has been a while since I've covered the madness of the Mary Sue. And, well, with the canceling of the Acolyte, people have been losing their minds. I mean, I did a video of it that I will put up here for you. But I want to cover this by the Mary Sue because the Mary Sue, being the sexist, misandrist rag that they are, they're extra mad. Yeah. So, not really happy to see the worst people online win. What did we win exactly? I mean, my life is not enriched in any sort of way. But then again, I see the worst people online as the people who are, actual hateful and bigoted people. You see, the Mary Sue folks, if you're a man, you're the enemy. They hate you on principle if you have an XY chromosome. They hate you if you speak any sort of difference to their opinion. They hate all of that. They are essentially communists. So yes, but with that out of the way, let's actually go to their site, to this article by Rachel Leishman, their number one commie writer. Disney is happy to let the toxic dude bros win, I guess. Doesn't that just sound like a very entitled title? Reeks of narcissism. But let's get into this. The Acolyte had a new and exciting show in the Star Wars franchise. Fans were given a look at a time period in the High Republic era that was never seen in live action. We had a new character to love, a cliffhanger with Yoda, and it was just exciting. But any kind of change in Star Wars brings with it a rush of angry dude bros with their pitchforks. They never gave the series a chance. I did. I watched it and looked at it from an objective standpoint. You can actually watch them on the weekly recap streams. Yeah, I covered all of it. But yeah, let's continue. Through review bombings and hating on social media, there was no review bombing here. I hate to break it to them, but they don't have any evidence of review bombing. And hating on social media, these men, it's all men's fault, made it impossible for anyone to talk about the series. Really, it was impossible to talk about the series, yet you still have a voice on Twitter, on X. Yet there was people on X who all loved it. I have a close friend who really likes it, and she wants to see it renewed, and that's all fine and good. You're allowed to have your opinions, but it still doesn't change the fact that the show failed to really bring in any sort of return on investment. So, yeah. Still, the fans of the Acolyte remained positive and fought through the noise these guys were making. I know women who didn't like the Acolyte. In fact, my co-host on the Sunday weekly recap is a woman. I know plenty of other women who don't like it. OG Star Wars thought it was garbage too. Several others, Lorraine Creel, I believe, she's like, yeah, that's garbage. I mean, several other women, Mara Jade, I don't even think she watched it because, well, she's just not into Star Wars anymore because Disney fucked over Star Wars. And so there's just a lot of women out there. Force of Light Entertainment, 2 women, mind you. They didn't like it. But it's the guy's fault, right? Yeah. Yeah, calls to renew the series poured in on social media right before the finale. And for a moment, it felt like the fans who actually find joy in Star Wars could win for once. You guys won ever since they kept on, or ever since Rian Johnson did his drivel. You guys won ever since Solo came out. You guys won ever since Disney got a hold of Star Wars because Disney started saying that they are going to do stuff that was already done, yet they'll be the ones to break the glass ceilings to do it. Yeah. Instead, it had been announced that the show will not return for season 2. Whatever hope we had for more stories from the Acolyte were dashed, and it feels like those in charge gave in to the toxicity of this fan base. They lost money. Star Wars is part of a company, made by a company that needs to make money in order to continue functioning. And I hate to break it to you, Marisol, but if you don't have any returns on your investments, you're losing money. It's called your product failed. We don't reward failure. Anybody who is in the business of making money doesn't reward failure. They trim that out. They cut it off. They find a new way of making money. What do you think Darth Vader did to all those people who failed him? He killed them. Now, I'm not saying people need to die for this, but that's just a Star Wars reference. People who failed in the Empire usually met with very harsh consequences. Death or slavery, essentially. But let's continue. This is actually fun to read from sexist people. Star Wars can be split into 3 parts. Those who love the franchise more, or fans can be split into 3 parts. Those who love this franchise more than anything, those who just enjoy watching it but aren't diehards, and then the kind of toxic fans who ruin it for everyone. Depending on who you ask, the toxic part changes. People who spend their time angry on YouTube and cry about Luke Skywalker's death not being cool enough for them, those are the toxic ones to me. Well, nobody really gives a shit what a Mary Sue writer has to say, man. I mean, sorry, Rachel, but I'm only covering this for the entertainment factor. And those of you, and they are the ones who refuse to let the Acolyte find its fandom. Exactly how did we all do this? Exactly how did Nerdrotic, Jeremy Prime, and all these other people who followed them and listened to them and Friday Night Tights people, how did they all stop the fandom or the Acolyte from finding its fandom? Exactly how did they do that? Did they just somehow digitize their bodies, send them through the algorithm of the internet, and suddenly create like this firewall that is so solid that that Star Wars fans couldn't find the Acolyte? The Acolyte was very happy to boast the numbers when it was favorable to them, and then continue to do so even after they fell off the Nielsen rating after episode 3. But now that reality has hit them, they can't do that anymore. But yeah, continue to push this stupidity, just constantly screaming at anyone who dared love the show and making life miserable if you wanted to share your support. They didn't do that. Well, a few people did, yes. There were a few actual toxic elements who did lend credence to what Disney was complaining about. Not going to say who they are, even though I do know. But the point is, they are so few and far between that they didn't really make a difference. The show just wasn't good. People didn't like it. It wasn't resonating well. Ooh, flashy sequences, lightsaber fights, cool. But other than that, what really was there to like? Oh, you got diversity, equity, and inclusion. You should automatically like it. Can they act? What's their merits in acting? How good are they in their acting? Is their performance believable? Is the direction and the production of quality? You see, I don't give a shit about skin color. I don't give a shit about ethnicity. I want to know, can they act? And some of them could, some of them couldn't. I'm sorry. Amanda Stenberg, her acting just wasn't good. But let's continue. Let's continue. This is a win for those toxic people. Every single thing these toxic bros like, it gets another season. Look, I love The Mandalorian, but they don't have an issue with that show. Actually, they did. The third season sucked. They were furious over Obi-Wan Kenobi, a great show. And it hasn't been given a second season because it sucked. I've already given my playlist of the Kenobi review and all of my objective thoughts on it as well. Lore violations and all sorts of stuff. But continue. Let's hear what they have to say. And it has been given, or it has been, and these are the angry YouTube warriors who mocked the Book of Boba Fett repeatedly. If they like the show, they are rewarded. So what about the rest of us? What about the fans who find joy in all these stories, who love the franchise and don't spend our time attacking people who like a different part of it? What the fuck do you think you're doing right now, Rachel Leishman? You are attacking those people in media format. You are literally calling all the people who hate it toxic. You are calling them dude bros. You are calling them men. And there are a lot of other people out there who are not men who didn't like them. Sorry, but now you're misgendering thousands, possibly millions of people. And yet, we're the ones who are toxic? Bitch, please. I mean, these angry men are never going to like what the franchise does unless they're the ones calling the shots. Canceling the Acolyte adds fuel to the fire, and it's just heartbreaking to see. I hope we still get things like Skeleton Crew and Andor moving forward. I hope these franchises still take chances, because otherwise it's appealing to the kind of men who have the worst ideas about what Star Wars is. She continues attacking men. What about all the female YouTubers and all the female fans who didn't like the stuff? What, are they nothing to you? You're dehumanizing women. The Mary Sue is dehumanizing women who disagree with them. This is blatant sexism and bigotry, folks. Blatant sexism and bigotry right here. But hey, that doesn't matter to them. You see, it's a double standard. If you make fun of something that they like, you're a bigot, sexist, racist. You're also a man. It doesn't matter if you have a double X chromosome. Nope. If it's something that they like that you don't, you're a man. That's what they're doing in this. It's not just men, folks. Females didn't like the Acolyte either. So this thing that you call an article from this site called the Mary Sue, it just shows how sexist and bigoted and dehumanizing they really are. They are so angry with their own selves that they can't handle a different opinion. So they will attack people. They will call women men. They will say that you are all just toxic men. Do you see how wrong that is? You're dehumanizing women. But they don't see it that way. You see, they are the sexists and the most bigoted site I have ever seen. But hey, I'm just a guy, so I don't think they care what I think. But I'm still going to give my opinion because, you know what, some of you do care about what I have to say. I don't know if you care about what they have to say. That's up to you. But yeah, the toxic dude bros win. What did we win exactly? Yeah, you got some people saying, oh yeah, we won, that show's canceled, all right. But is your life better for it? Is Disney better for it? Hey, maybe not. But the point is, when it comes down to brass tacks, guess what? If the product doesn't make money, they don't reward it with continuation. They're not like the WB that continued Batgirl for like 2 extra seasons after it was after the first season lost over 1 million viewers to where it was under 1 million viewers at the end of the season. I couldn't even fully review that that whole series that whole season because it just kept getting worse. And thank God, because I felt like I would have gone insane if I had tried. But yeah, folks, that's going to be the video. You all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Let me know your thoughts. Be respectful, by the way. Some of you are getting a little bit extreme with your rhetoric. So I would appreciate you not kind of using some of that terminology. But otherwise, your comments will be seen and will be acknowledged. But other than that, keep it civil. That's all I ask. Keep it civil in my comment section. But anyway, folks, this has been Chat. Y'all have a great day, and always remember to stay humble. Because we know these guys, no way, I don't want to misgender them. We all know that the Mary Sue, the ladies of the Mary Sue, are not. Peace.